Actually, we'll go down here and check it out. See what's on the other side of the Puerta del Sol. Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks, and today we're going to go for a walk around the historical town of Sigüenza here in the province of Guadalajara, Spain. So let's start the walk around this very old town. Let's go. Okay, so let's start the walk around the town of Sigüenza. As I said, a very historical town. We're going to see lots of old buildings, and the idea is to work our way up to the top of this town and arrive at the castle. That's the idea. Now, let's have a look at the type of architecture that we have in this part of Spain. As I said, Guadalajara. We're about 130 kilometers from Madrid, I think. Don't quote me on that. I think around 130 kilometers off the main highway, the Madrid-Barcelona highway, about 30-35 kilometers off that highway. And as I said also, this is a historical town. Lots of interesting things to see here, and lots of people visiting this part of Spain any given day. More at weekends, I imagine, but as we walk around, we'll see why this is an important historical town. Now, let's work out where to go. We've got 1995 Santa Maria over there. I think I'll walk up this street here, and that should take us into the center of the city. Calle Bajada del Portal Mayor. So, let's go up here. First uphill of the morning. Let's go. Renovation works going on over here. Let's get up this steep hill here. Cobblestone streets. Trying to keep the historical value here. And also the types of houses. These stone houses are what you will see in this part of Spain. Alright, so car going past here. First historical building, I think. Most likely a church. Let's go and check it out. It's a tourist group up the top of the hill. I'll avoid them for the time being. So we'll get a view of the countryside as well, quite hilly. It's also quite cold, I will say. It's around 4-5 degrees Celsius, 11:25 AM. And let's have a look at the back of this building here, which looks to be a church. Let's walk down here and see if we can find the front of the building. Let's see. Not sure because we've got a dead-end street down here. So let's see if there's anything down here. If not, we'll turn around and come back out. So, what do we got here? Well, cars can't get through, but pedestrians can. And let's have a look at this building here. They've obviously got some type of charity set up here. Ropa y calzado, so asking for old clothes and shoes. And here we go with this church here, Iglesia de Santa Maria. The first amazing building that we've come across in the town of Sigüenza. Now I can hear more kids. Sounds as though there's either a school close by, or it's a group of kids that have come to see this town. Let's have a look here, what we've got. The Iglesia de Santa Maria, the Church of St. Mary. Located in the heart of the Arrabal suburb of the city, it was here where Juan Díaz de la Guerra, the enlightened bishop of the 18th century, decided to install one of the old parishes of the city, that of St. James, converted in the 16th century into the Church of the Convent of Sisters of the Third Order of St. Francis. The War of Independence paralysed the works of this neoclassical temple, of which its austere facade and its tall tower stand out. Works were resumed in 1822 in time of Bishop Manuel Fraile, and eventually completed in 1834. So let's have a look from here, and there we can see this building. Spectacular. Let's keep on going. Trying to avoid these kids that are obviously here on a school trip. Let's head up here. Let's see what's up here. Buenos días, señora. ¿El catedral?
Tiene que ir para allá.
¿Para allá? O sea que por aquí arriba
Es
no.
un castillo.
Castillo para acá y catedral para
Por
acá.
allá.
Gracias. All right, so you heard it there. The cathedral is in the other direction. So we'll head up first to the castle, and then we'll catch the cathedral on the way back down. A couple of the locals having a chat. Lots of rural accommodation here. So I imagine, as I said before, lots of tourists would be coming to this part of Guadalajara, especially at weekends. Local tourists, foreign tourists, because this town is on the map of things to see and do in Spain. And when you look around and you see things like that, you understand why. Through that we will go. So, Casco Histórico. Parador here to the right. So we'll find that later as well. Let's have a look down this street. Look up this street. And let's go into the Casco Histórico, the old part of town. For sale. Not sure how much that would cost or what you would do with it. No doubt turn it into some type of rural accommodation. All right, into the old part of town we go. Another building here for sale. And the ubiquitous graffiti staining the walls of this old town. And it's a shame, because people obviously don't give a stuff. All right, now we'll come back down there afterwards, but we will go up to the castle and we'll have a look at the graffiti. Absolutely useless graffiti, and I don't know why people think that they can just, as I said, stain the walls with that rubbish. Let's continue. Now this is a hike up the hill, so I'm going to be out of breath when I get to the top. Tavern. Let's have a look at the prices. Carpaccio, $13.50. Lomitos de bacalao, cod, €12. Some suggestions there, ranging from 21 down to 13.50. Toque asiático, an Asian touch. Mains, salads, desserts. That's what you're paying here to have lunch or dinner. Car coming out. Again, car owners, or the dogs. 2 dogs up there. Another restaurant over here. Let's check out the prices. I don't reckon there's much competition when it comes to prices here. And as we can see, more or less the same. Menú del día, menú infantil, but the menú del día, or the menú Doña Blanca, $29.50. Let's continue. All right, let's continue through here. Let's have a look around first, get an idea of the town. 2,500 people, if I haven't mentioned the population before, but around 2,500 I think. And people living in these old houses. VUT, Vivienda de Uso Turístico. So a tourist apartment up there. And I reckon that's the main business of this town. Now I've got a choice here. I can go down, or I can go up there to where the castle seems to be. I'll ask this person here. Hola, disculpe. ¿Para el castillo por aquí o para allá?
Por aquí.
Por ahí, ¿no? Por ahí no se puede, ¿verdad?
También sale por
¿Ah,
ahí.
también?
Sí.
Ah, vale, gracias.
Ah.
Okay, so 2 ways to get to the castle. I think that's the cathedral over there. Not sure if you can see it just above this white van. I think that would be it. And this looks to be La Plaza Principal. I would say that it is. Let me have a look. So I would say this is the main town square. But again, don't quote me on that. So we can either get up there to the castle. I think I'll take this route up here. Let's go. Up the hill again. Good exercise walking in these towns, I will say. You do keep fit. Uphill, downhill. Uphill we go. There's the castle. Flags on the turret or whatever that is. Let's go. Wow. Spectacular view up there with the clouds rushing by. All right. There's quite a few cars up here. So I imagine there's people visiting the castle. And let's have a look at the views. We'll walk around this way. All right. Let's go. Yeah, a lot of cars. All right, what do we got here? Castillo Alcabaza. After the reconquest of Siguenza in 1124, the former Islamic citadel became property of the bishops, lords of the city. It was the episcopal residence since the end of the 13th century, and its entrance between the towers was built in the 14th century. At the time, the Castilian Queen Blanche de Bourbon was locked up within its walls. Cardinal Mendoza raised its barbican and turned it into a palace where the bishops of Sigüenza would live until the 18th century. In the 19th century, it was used as an asylum and barracks, and after it was restored in the middle of the 20th century, it became a parador nacional. So, this is the parador. And that would also explain why there are so many cars in the parking lot here, because it is a place where people can stay, the Parador Nacional. Let's go and check it out. We've got the Repsol gas guy, obviously leaving the heating substance. I imagine it's some type of diesel oil, or maybe gas, not sure. It says gas on the side of the truck, so I imagine that's what it is. Let's check out this sign, Castillo Palacio de los Obispos. Let's have a look at the views that we can get from up here. Let's continue. All right, we've got some writing on the walls here. Don Francisco Lena Serrano, Cronista Provincial de Guadalajara, Defensor de la Reconstrucción del Castillo. So there we go. Let's go and check out the views over here first to get an idea of the role this castle would have played back in the day with this valley down here and the leaves ready to fall off those trees. Let's look at this castle here with the flag flying up there. The wind's dropped off. Let's go in and check it out from the inside. I'm not going to go in, even though you can go into the paradores here in Spain. They're open to the public. You can walk in and check out some of the property, but not interested in that, am I? Paradores de Sigüenza since 1828. Not sure whether this place has been operating since then, but I think that's when the concept of the paradors was first started. And this is the inside, the parking area here. So quite a few cars here as well. In fact, I will go inside and check it out. Let's go and check it out. see what's going on. All right. So, bienvenidos, parador de turismo de Sigüenza. So this is like a reception area, but I'm not sure where the actual receptionists are. I think they're through there. So I'm not going to go through there. So we'll head back out. And I'm sure that you would be able to see the castle if I wanted to. But maybe I'll come and stay one time. Let's go and check out the rest of the town. So the parking is exclusively for clients of the parador, but it's not a controlled parking. So you might get robbed. It's not their responsibility. That's what they're saying with that sign. But I don't reckon there'd be any problems with crime here. Or at least I'd like to think that. All right, let's work our way down, have a look at the rest of the town. Check out some of the buildings, see if we see any tourists walking around. I think we've got a couple over here. We'll go down this way and check out what's going on. De Sigüenza a Itienza, tras los pasos del Cid. So talking about El Cid. So, all right, asador. Now, I reckon that this would be the fairly typical restaurant here. Asador, horno de leña de parrilla. Horno de leña parrilla. So that's a wood-fired oven. And we can see here that they've got a special menu. First course, you can choose various things, and then for the main course, you've got roast suckling pig or lamb. And you can see here that there's also other types of roasts and also fish that are done in this oven. And you can get that for $29.95. Is that a bargain? Do you think $29.95 for that meal? Let me know in the comment section below if indeed you think it is a bargain. Let me know. All right, let's continue. Another place for sale. So if you wanted to come here and buy property, turn it into rural accommodation, I'm sure that you'd make a living, because this place is close enough to the big city Madrid that you would get lots of people coming out at weekends, coming here to stay, coming here to check out this little town, simply because of its historical value. Because everywhere you look, there's something of historical value. Let's keep going. See what's down here. Now we've got a sign here that will tell us where we need to go. We've got Iglesia Románica de San Vicente, Museo, Plaza, Puerta del Hierro, Siglo XII, and a wall mural going on over here. Let's keep going down the hill. Let's see what else we can find. That's blocked off, so they're doing some renovation works down there. We've got another accommodation. Now, I think that would be the issue, isn't it? That how many accommodations can one town have? Or how many different places to sleep? Posada Mayor. There we go. More renovation works going on over here. And this, I think, is a religious building, but don't quote me on that. And it is indeed a religious building. Iglesia de Santiago, St. James's Church, built in the middle of the 12th century. So let's have a look at these stones that were put together in the middle of the 12th century and how they connect with the other architecture in this town. Fascinating. All right, now, I think that down there is the cathedral. In fact, I would say it is, almost with 100% certainty. And this street's interesting because I imagine it's one of the main streets in Sigüenza. For sale, for sale. So we've got 1, 2, 3 places for sale here. Now, don't ask me how much they would cost, but they're all in the hands of the same real estate guy. So 32, 30, and 26 up for sale. Where's number 28? 30, 26, 28? Nowhere to be found. Let's continue. Another place here for sale as well. So lots of places for sale, I will say. Okay, now another place for sale also. So I don't know whether that's because people are getting old or people have passed away and they're leaving these properties to kids and the kids are not interested. Puerta del Sol, Gate of the Sun. Let's have a look. Opened up in the 13th century in the east side of the Romanesque wall. It is orientated towards the sunrise, hence its current name. There we go. The Puerta del Sol. Actually, we'll go down here and check it out. See what's on the other side of the Puerta del Sol. Graffiti. Okay, so yeah, nothing much here, just a nice park. We can see. Okay, I've got people living there. All right, so not a lot to see here, so back up we go. Buenos días. Okay, we've got a green zone, meaning that you can't park here unless you are a resident. Let's go down here towards the cathedral, and it looks to be a spectacular cathedral. Tourist shops, artesanía y regalos. So it's where you would buy the local stuff. Another one here. More tourist accommodation. Victoria. Typical souvenirs and things like that in that shop. Alojamientos. Muebles. Furniture. And I would say that this is the most emblematic building in Sigüenza. One of the locals here. Maybe going to start the walk up this hill. And as they would say in Spanish, esa es un pedazo de cuesta. So you have your work cut out for you walking up there. Now, this could be the main square. I might have got it wrong before, but I reckon it is because this is the Palacio de Ayuntamiento, as we can see there. So the town hall building, restaurants, 19 euros for a menu. That is not cheap, but VAT is included. And you can also get the menu in English if you're interested. If you want to know what gazpacho casero is in English, you can find it there. Let's have a look if we can find the English menu. No, no me interesa, gracias. So I just had a waiter try to get me into that restaurant, probably thinking that it's about lunchtime for me. Just before midday, Plaza Mayor, and this is the main part of the town and the cathedral, getting some renovation works done currently, I think. Let's continue down here. Casco Histórico Castillo up there, which is what we saw. And we're getting down into the main part of town here where the businesses seem to be. So we'll see some life, no doubt. More renovation works going on up there, because the upkeep on these buildings, I imagine, costs a pretty penny. All right, so bar restaurant, more activity here, group of tourists coming out of the cathedral. We'll see if we can get an idea of the main door of the cathedral. I'm sure it is Romanesque style. Let's have a look. Must be one of these elderly tour groups. And here is the cathedral. Let's walk in and check out the main entrance. Not going to go inside, of course, even though you probably could pay to go and check out this building. That's how they pay for all of the renovation works. But there it is, the cathedral, and there's another example of that Romanesque style architecture. Wow. Interesting. But we're not here to see every old monument in the town. I'm sure there are plenty of videos on the internet where you can find out the historical facts. I'm just checking out the town. Now, not going to go down there. I'm going to go down the main strip, past the banks, and work my way back to the car. Calle del Cardenal Mendoza, bishop in this town in the 15th century. Okay, the main street, tobacco shop, very important. No town in Spain is complete without a tobacco shop. Perfumery, travel shop, tour guides, courier, shoes, more gifts, souvenirs I should say. What do we got on this side? Pasteleria, closed, not sure when it opens. Bank, another closed business. Coffee shop, more renovation works going on here, or construction, not sure. We'll work our way down here. And you can get an idea of how cold it is. Those workers there with a lot of clothes on, gloves, beanies, trying to keep warm. All right, here we've got a relojeria. I think it used to be, not anymore probably. Selling different things now. But you can see there's a big difference between the commercial part of the city and the historical part of the city. Let's keep on going down here, and I'll work my way back to the car. Now, I first came to this town around 23 or 24 years ago. I came to a wedding, one of my first experiences with weddings here in Spain. Unfortunately, the couple separated a couple of months after the wedding, so not very good for them. But I'm sure they've remarried now. Now let's walk down there. We've got these kids again. What's this? Some other type of historical building, colegio. So some type of school maybe. There's kids on the other side of the road there having a smoke, so I imagine that it is a school. And I think I'm coming to the end of Sigüenza, some historical thing here now. 1124 to 2024, the centenary of the Reconquista, where they took back the city from the Moors, I imagine. So that's that historical part of Sigüenza. And the gas man coming up the street here also, taking the gas bottles to the buildings that need them. And let's be honest, in this town, I imagine everybody's on the butano, on the gas bottle. And look at this property up here for sale. I'm sure that would cost a pretty penny. Okay, so some signs over there, Tanatorio, that's where I'm parked. So that's where I gotta go. We've got some more old buildings here, Residencia de Ancianos, an elderly residence. Padre Saturnino Lopez Navoya. So there we go. So I'll wrap this walkabout tour of Sigüenza up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you've been to this town, let us know what you thought. If you're planning on visiting this town, let us know what you expect to see. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego from Sigüenza.